Hello everyone. Welcome back to Fluent English. We're so happy you're here with us today. If this is your first time listening, welcome. Our goal is to help you speak English more naturally, more confidently, and more like a native speaker. Today we have a really fun topic, because we're going to talk about something millions of people around the world are excited about. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Even if you're not a huge soccer fan, this episode will help you have real conversations in English with friends, coworkers, classmates, and people you meet while traveling.
Hey everyone, it's great to be back. I love today's topic because sports bring people together. You don't have to know every player or every rule. Sometimes all you need is enough English to join the conversation. Imagine someone asks you, who's your favorite team? Or did you watch the match last night? Instead of feeling nervous, you'll know exactly how to answer.
That's so true. I remember the first time I watched a big international soccer match with friends from different countries. Everyone had different favorite teams, but we all spoke English together. Some people were cheering, some were joking, and some were making predictions. It wasn't about perfect grammar. It was about enjoying the conversation.
Exactly. Today we're going to learn the kinds of English expressions Americans and other English speakers actually use when talking about the FIFA World Cup 2026. We'll cover useful vocabulary, natural sentence patterns, common expressions, and everyday conversations that sound friendly instead of textbook English.
By the end of this episode, you'll know how to talk about your favorite team, share your opinions, make predictions, react to exciting moments, and even agree or disagree politely. These are expressions you can use in real life, not just during the World Cup, but anytime you talk about sports.
Before we jump in, we'd love to hear from you. Which country are you supporting in the FIFA World Cup 2026? Tell us in the comments, and if you want, tell us why. We'd love to read your answers from all around the world.
And if you're enjoying these English podcast lessons, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Fluent English, and share it with a friend who's learning English too. Every episode is designed to help you speak with more confidence, one conversation at a time.
Awesome! Grab your coffee, relax, and let's start learning how to talk about the FIFA World Cup 2026 like a native English speaker.
Let's start with the most important thing. When people talk about sports, especially soccer, they usually keep their sentences simple. A great basic formula is subject plus verb plus object. For example, I watched the match. My team won the game. They scored 2 goals. This sentence pattern is easy, natural, and very common in everyday conversations.
Let's look at a few more examples. I watched the World Cup with my family. My friends support Brazil. The fans loved the game. Our team played really well. Everyone enjoyed the final. Notice how each sentence follows the same simple pattern. That's one reason native speakers sound so natural. They don't always use long or complicated sentences.
Right, sometimes learners think they need difficult grammar to sound fluent. Actually, simple English spoken confidently sounds much more natural. Here's something I might say. I watched the game after work. Or maybe, I couldn't stop watching because it was so exciting. Both are easy to understand.
Here's something I'd probably say. I stayed up late to watch the match. My team lost, but it was still a great game. See, that's how real conversations usually sound.
Now let's talk about one important word. In many countries, people say football. In the United States, people usually say soccer. So if you're talking with Americans, you'll probably hear things like, I love soccer. Did you watch the soccer game? The soccer season is exciting. Knowing this difference helps you sound more natural depending on who you're talking to.
Here's a question for you. Can you say, I like soccer because it's exciting? Now try changing the adjective. I like soccer because it's unpredictable. I like soccer because it's fast. I like soccer because it's fun. Go ahead and say them out loud.
Great job! Now let's practice talking about favorite teams. A simple formula is, I support, or my favorite team is, for example, I support Argentina. My favorite team is Mexico. I've always supported England. Notice that all of these sound natural.
Here's another useful question. Who's your favorite player? You can answer, my favorite player is, or I really like, or even I'm a big fan of. Americans often say, I'm a big fan of that player. That's a very common expression.
Let me ask you something. If someone asks, who are you rooting for? Do you know what that means? It simply means, which team do you hope will win? Rooting for is an expression Americans use all the time during sports events.
Exactly, you can answer, I'm rooting for Brazil. I'm rooting for the USA. I'm rooting for Spain. That's much more natural than saying, I desire this team to win. Nobody really talks like that.
Here's another common sentence pattern. Subject plus be plus adjective. The game was amazing. The match was boring. The stadium was packed. The atmosphere was incredible. These adjectives help describe your experience.
Let's practice together, repeat after us. The game was exciting. The crowd was loud. The players were confident. The referee was fair. Excellent. Repeating sentences helps build confidence.
Now let's talk about opinions. One of the easiest phrases is, I think. For example, I think Brazil played well. I think the referee made a mistake. I think this could be the best World Cup ever. Using I think makes your opinion sound friendly instead of too strong.
You can also say, I don't think. I don't think they played well. I don't think that was a penalty. Notice we don't usually say, I think not. Native speakers almost always prefer, I don't think.
That's a really important point. Let's compare them. I think they will win. I don't think they will win. Just moving don't changes the meaning completely.
Let's ask our listeners a few questions. Can you answer these out loud? Who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite player? Did you watch any World Cup matches? Who do you think will win the tournament? Try answering with complete sentences instead of just one word.
Here's another useful expression. I'm excited about. I'm excited about the next match. I'm excited about the final. I'm excited to watch my team play. This expression isn't only for sports. You can use it in everyday life too.
Another expression Americans use all the time is, I can't wait. I can't wait for the next game. I can't wait to watch the final. I can't wait to see who wins. It simply means you're very excited.
Let's also learn how to talk about negative experiences. My team didn't play well. We didn't score enough goals. They weren't ready. I wasn't happy with the result. Notice how we use didn't with the base verb. Not they didn't played. Instead, they didn't play. That's one of the most common grammar patterns in English.
Let's practice correct sentence. My team didn't win. My favorite player didn't score. We didn't expect that result. Those sound completely natural.
Sometimes people also say, we were unlucky. They had a bad day. It just wasn't our game. These expressions sound friendly and respectful, especially if your team loses.
That's important because sports conversations should be fun. You can support your team without being rude to other fans. Try saying, my team lost, but they played hard. That's something you'll hear from native speakers all the time.
Before we finish this section, here's a little challenge. Write one sentence in the comments using today's expressions. Maybe tell us which team you're rooting for, or describe the last match you watched. Keep it simple. 1 or 2 sentences are perfect.
Great work. Today you learned simple sentence structures, useful sports vocabulary, natural American expressions like I'm rooting for, I can't wait, and I'm a big fan of, plus how to give opinions and talk about games with confidence. These basics will make the rest of today's lesson much easier. So let's keep building your English together in the next section.
Great job making it through the first section. Now let's build on those basics and learn how native English speakers keep a sports conversation going. Knowing a few words is helpful, but being able to continue the conversation naturally is what makes you sound confident.
That's right, in real life people don't just say, my team won. They usually add details, opinions, or questions. Think of it like this, statement plus reason plus question. For example, I thought the game was exciting because both teams played aggressively. What did you think? That sounds much more like a real conversation.
Let's try another one. I was surprised because the underdog played really well. Did you expect that? See how we're sharing an opinion and inviting the other person to respond. That's exactly what happens during everyday conversations.
Here are a few more examples. I think the defense was really strong. The goalkeeper made some amazing saves. The second half was much better than the first. That last goal completely changed the game. I didn't expect the match to end like that. All of these are common things you'll hear during the World Cup.
Now let's talk about agreeing with someone. If your friend says, that was an incredible match, you could answer, I agree. Absolutely, you're right. I thought the same thing. Those responses sound friendly and natural.
But what if you have a different opinion? You don't want to sound rude. Instead of saying, you're wrong, try saying, I see your point, but I think, maybe, but I feel like, I'm not so sure about that. I actually have a different opinion. These expressions help keep the conversation respectful.
Exactly. Sports fans often disagree, but native speakers usually soften their opinions. For example, I think Brazil played better. Oh, really? I actually thought Spain looked stronger. Neither person sounds angry. They're simply sharing opinions.
Let's act out a short conversation. I say, I think the referee made the right decision.
I'd answer him, I'm not so sure. I think it was a little unfair.
Then I could say, that's fair, I guess people see it differently. See, that's a natural way to disagree.
Here's another situation. Imagine you're watching the match with coworkers. Someone asks, who do you think is going to win? You could answer, I've got a feeling Argentina will win. Or, I think it'll be a close game. Or, honestly, I have no idea. Both teams are really strong.
Notice that phrase, I've got a feeling. Americans use it all the time when making predictions. I've got a feeling this match is going to be exciting. I've got a feeling there might be extra time. It's casual and conversational.
Another useful phrase is, it looks like. It looks like they're getting tired. It looks like it's going to rain. It looks like this game could go to penalties. We're making an observation, not stating a fact.
Let's compare formal and informal English. Formal, I believe the team performed exceptionally well. Informal, I think they played great. Formal, the striker demonstrated excellent skill. Informal, that forward was on fire. During conversations with friends, the informal versions sound much more natural.
Speaking of on fire, that's a fantastic expression. If someone is playing incredibly well, Americans often say, she's on fire. He's on fire today. It doesn't mean there's real fire. It means someone is performing extremely well.
Here are a few more expressions. They crushed it. They dominated. They gave it everything. They never gave up. They fought until the very end. These expressions are common in sports conversations.
Let's do a quick practice. I'll describe a situation and you think of the best response. Your team scores in the last minute. You could say, what a finish. That was unbelievable. I can't believe they scored. Now try saying one of those out loud.
Here's another one. Your favorite team loses. Instead of getting angry, you might say, maybe next time. They played their best. It wasn't our day. We'll come back stronger. Those responses sound positive and respectful.
Here's another helpful tip. First, explain your opinion. Second, give a reason. Third, ask the other person what they think. For example, I think England defended really well because they stayed organized. What do you think? That's an excellent conversation pattern.
Let's practice one together. I think the goalkeeper was the player of the match because he made several amazing saves. What about you? Now it's your turn. Choose any team and make your own sentence using that pattern.
We'd love to read your examples, so leave one in the comments. Don't worry if your English isn't perfect. The goal is to communicate, not to be perfect.
Before we move on, let's review. Today you learned how to agree politely, disagree respectfully, make predictions, give reasons for your opinions, and keep conversations flowing naturally. Those simple conversation skills will help you sound much more confident when talking about the FIFA World Cup 2026 with English speakers.
Now let's explore another important skill, reacting naturally during a live game. Native speakers don't always use complete sentences because the action happens so quickly.
Exactly, imagine your team scores. People might shout, no way, what a goal, let's go, that's unbelievable, what a shot. These are short, emotional expressions you'll hear all the time.
Here's another situation. The goalkeeper makes an incredible save. You might say, wow, how did he stop that? That save was unbelievable. He's having an amazing game. Simple reactions like these make your English sound much more natural.
Now imagine someone misses an easy chance. You might hear, oh, come on, he should have scored. That was so close. What a missed opportunity. Again, these are everyday expressions.
Let's talk about being polite. Sports fans are passionate, but it's always good to respect other people's teams. Instead of saying, your team is terrible, try saying, I don't think they played their best today, or they've had better games. Those sound much friendlier.
Tone matters just as much as vocabulary. If you smile and say, good game, it sounds sincere. But if you say the same words with an angry voice, they can sound sarcastic. That's why listening practice is so important.
Here's another useful phrase. They deserve to win, or they deserve the victory. You're saying they earned the result through good performance.
You can also say they earned it. They worked hard for that win. They never stopped fighting. These expressions show respect for the other team.
Now let's imagine a real-life conversation. Your coworker asks, "Did you watch the match?" You answer, "Yeah, it was amazing." They ask, "What was your favorite moment?" You reply, "I loved the final goal because nobody expected it." That's exactly how casual conversations happen.
Here's another example. Friend, who are you cheering for tonight? You, I'm rooting for Mexico. Friend, really? I think Portugal is going to win. You, maybe it's going to be a great match either way. See how friendly that sounds?
Let's do a mini practice together. I'll ask a question and you answer out loud. Ready? Who's your favorite team? Why do you support them? Who do you think is the best player? Which match has been your favorite so far? Don't worry about making mistakes. Just keep speaking.
Speaking out loud is one of the fastest ways to improve your fluency. Even if you're practicing alone, your brain gets used to producing English naturally.
Here's another expression you'll hear often. It was worth staying up late. Maybe the game started at midnight where you live. You can say, "I was tired this morning, but the match was worth staying up for." Native speakers use worth it all the time.
Let's learn another casual phrase. That game had me on the edge of my seat. It doesn't mean you were literally sitting on the edge. It means the game was so exciting that you couldn't relax.
Another great idiom is, "It could go either way." That means both teams have a good chance of winning. For example, both teams are playing well. This one could go either way. Very natural English.
Here's one more. They pulled off an upset. An upset happens when the weaker team beats the stronger team. Sports fans love using this expression.
Before we finish this section, here's today's speaking challenge. Imagine you're talking with an American friend after a World Cup match. Describe the game using at least 3 expressions you learned today. Then write 1 or 2 of those sentences in the comments so everyone can practice together.
Fantastic work. Today you learned how to react naturally during a match, use common American sports expressions, speak politely about different teams, use idioms like "on the edge of my seat" and "pull off an upset," and carry a real conversation from beginning to end. These are the kinds of expressions that make your English sound confident, relaxed, and natural.
Welcome back. You've learned a lot already, and now it's time to talk about something every English learner experiences: making mistakes. Believe it or not, we still make mistakes when learning new languages too. It's completely normal, and it's actually part of becoming fluent.
Absolutely, the important thing isn't avoiding every mistake, it's learning from them. Today we'll look at 4 common mistakes English learners make when talking about soccer or the FIFA World Cup, and we'll practice the natural way to say each one.
Mistake number 1 is using the wrong verb tense. Many learners say, "Yesterday my team win." The correct sentence is, "Yesterday my team won." If you're talking about a finished game in the past, use the past tense.
Let's compare them. Incorrect. They win yesterday. Correct. They won yesterday. Incorrect. I watched the match last night. Correct. I watched the match last night. The words yesterday and last night tell us we need the past tense.
Here's why this mistake happens. In many languages, time words work differently, so it's easy to forget to change the verb. A simple trick is to ask yourself, did this already happen? If the answer is yes, check whether your verb is in the past tense.
Practice with us. Say these out loud. My team won. We watched the game. They scored first. Excellent. Those all use the correct past tense verbs.
Mistake number 2 is saying, "I'm agree." This is very common, but it isn't correct. The correct sentence is, "I agree." The verb agree doesn't need am.
Here's another comparison. Incorrect. I'm agree with you. Correct. I agree with you. Incorrect. I'm disagree. Correct. I disagree. Keep it simple.
Mistake number 3 is translating directly from your own language. Some learners say, "My team made a victory." Native speakers don't say that. Instead say, "My team won," or "My team got the victory." Natural English often uses different word combinations, so learning common phrases is just as important as learning vocabulary.
Here are some better alternatives. We won the match. They lost the game. It was a close match. We played really well. Notice how smooth those sound.
Mistake number 4 is forgetting the base verb after did. You might hear a learner say, "They didn't scored." The correct sentence is, "They didn't score." After did or didn't, always use the base form of the verb.
Let's practice. Incorrect. She didn't played. Correct. She didn't play. Incorrect. We didn't watched. Correct. We didn't watch. That's an easy rule to remember.
Here's a funny example. Imagine someone says, "My team didn't win but they win yesterday." You understand the idea, but it sounds confusing because the verb forms don't match the time. A native speaker would naturally say, My team didn't win today, but they won yesterday. One small change makes a big difference.
Let's do a quick review with practice prompts. How would you say this correctly? Yesterday I watched the game. That's right. Yesterday I watched the game. Now try this one. I'm agree. Correct. I agree. One more. They didn't scored. Exactly. They didn't score.
Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. The more you speak, the more comfortable these patterns will become. Don't wait until your English is perfect before joining a conversation.
That's the key message. Focus on communicating, keep practicing, and don't be afraid of small mistakes. Confidence grows every time you use English in a real conversation.
Now it's time for a fun activity. We'll give you 2 sentences and you choose the one that sounds more natural. Try answering before we explain. Situation 1. Option A, I watched the match yesterday. Option B, I watched the match yesterday. Which one is correct?
The answer is option A, I watched the match yesterday. Because we're talking about the past, we need the past tense verb watched.
Situation 2. Option A, I'm rooting for Brazil. Option B, I'm supporting for Brazil. Which sounds more natural?
Option A, I'm rooting for Brazil. You can also say, I support Brazil, but supporting for isn't natural English.
Situation 3. Option A, I think it'll be a close game. Option B, I think it will close game. Which one?
Option A is correct. Don't forget the article A, it'll be a close game. Native speakers use this expression all the time.
Situation 4. Option A, I agree with you. Option B, I'm agree with you. You probably know this one now.
That's right, option A, I agree with you. Simple and natural.
Situation 5. Option A, my favorite player is on fire. Option B, my favorite player is in fire. Which one sounds right?
Option A, on fire, is the correct expression when someone is performing extremely well.
Fantastic. Now it's your turn. Create 1 sentence about your favorite World Cup team and 1 sentence about your favorite player. Say both sentences out loud first, then write them in the comments. Speaking first helps you build confidence before you write.
And remember, there are often different ways to express the same idea. Some situations are casual, some are more formal, but the most important goal is having a real conversation. Don't chase perfection, focus on communicating clearly and naturally.
Wow, we covered a lot today, and you did an amazing job. You learned how to talk about the FIFA World Cup 2026 using natural, everyday English. More importantly, you practiced speaking the way real people do in conversations.
Let's quickly review the 3 main skills we covered today. First, we learned the basic sentence structures you can use to talk about matches, teams, and players. Second, we practiced giving opinions, agreeing, disagreeing politely, and making predictions. Third, we learned natural American expressions and reactions that help your English sound more fluent during sports conversations.
Remember, fluency doesn't come from memorizing hundreds of grammar rules. It comes from using English again and again. Every conversation is another chance to improve, so don't be afraid to speak, even if you make a few mistakes along the way.
Before we finish, here's one last question for you. If you could watch one FIFA World Cup match live, which match would you choose and why? We'd really love to hear your answer, so tell us in the comments below.
If today's lesson helped you, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to Fluent English for more easy English podcasts and conversation practice. We upload lessons designed to help you speak with confidence in real life.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Keep practicing a little every day, stay curious, and remember that every sentence you speak brings you one step closer to fluency. We can't wait to learn with you again. See you next time.